What is up, guys? Silver Warrior here, and today I'm going to be discussing 5 things to watch out for when buying silver. Now, this advice, at least in my opinion, can be applied to any precious metal. I use the term silver because that is the metal I'm most familiar with in both buying and selling myself. It's the one I've made the most mistakes with, definitely, and is overall just the one I'm most comfortable speaking of. But, like I said, I do believe you can apply this to other metals, and I will mention gold several times in this video, as you'll see. Also, these are not going to be a list of all of the same type of thing, like it's not going to be all scams. There's just going to be 5 different things to avoid when buying silver, so it includes personal mistakes as well. But with that being said, let's get into the video. So number 5, we are going to be starting off with a pretty big scam, and that's just going to be the simple one, fake silver. Okay? To avoid this one, there's several things you can do. You can buy from only reputable dealers. Obviously, that's not always an option if they don't have certain pieces, like rare pieces, but those are going to be the ones you see faked more, like the rare old pours and things like that. And also, they don't have the best deals. You're going to see better deals on Instagram. Fortunately, you can do many things to test silver. However, these fakes are getting extremely good. Okay, and the other thing is that people are willing to fake an ounce of silver. As sad as it sounds, people are willing to make a fake ounce of silver, and it is actually profitable for them to do at this point. So you really do have to be careful with that as well. But obviously, a lot of people, if they're spending, less than $20 on something, to a lot of people, that's not that much money. To some people, yeah, that's a lot of money. And to very wise people, any amount of money is enough money to be very cautious with. And I do agree with that. You do have to be cautious no matter what, because even if there's not a big risk of getting scammed, there's other factors as well. And you just have to kind of consider the fact that it's your money, that if you earned it, you should value it in a way where you're only willing to spend it on things that you know are going to be reputable. But definitely, fake silver is going to be a very big one, and really just fake any metal. Obviously, there's pretty much no way to guarantee silver is real other than certain tests. You can do, like, let's say the ding test, where you drop it, and that could damage something. But furthermore, there's many ways of making a piece sound proper. Really, the only surefire way is to do probably an aggressive test, like an acid test. And even then, I mean, I'm sure there's people that can find ways to fake that. But as of now, I don't know of any. But just because like a coin comes like in a slab like this even, doesn't mean it's real. People will crack slabs and put other kind of coins in them. And it is a very unfortunate thing, for sure. So I guess the best way to avoid buying fake silver is to try to go through really reputable dealers and only deal in pieces that generally you're not going to find to be very fake, or they're pieces that are very hard to fake. Like an American Silver Eagle, for example. It's a 1 ounce coin, so it's very expensive to fake it in terms of how much you can sell it for, or compared to how much you can sell it for, rather. And furthermore, it's an extremely detailed coin, to the point in which a lot of fakers are going to mess up something. And that is something to look for as well on coins, is a mistake. But generic pieces, there's really no way to tell. And even older pours, there's sometimes no way to tell because a lot of them were slightly different from each other, even if they're real. Like old Englehards, for example. So yeah, that's going to be definitely the biggest thing you're probably going to see is fake silver. Now the second one's going to be someone just not shipping anything to you. Again, this really applies to any metal. So you're going to see this the most on Instagram. I mean, as much as I love that platform, that's just really a problem. Instagram, if you haven't been in that community much, or you don't really buy and sell, there's a very simple format to it. People will go and they'll run a giveaway, get many, many followers, and then they'll start selling stuff at ridiculously cheap prices. Usually they won't ship out anything because I don't really believe it to be very easy to mail something without a return address. So therefore, if you mailed it out to somebody, like the actual stuff that they ordered, there would be that return address, and they could, have your address. And usually they also won't buy anything then as well. So you'll kind of notice that they're not very active in the community, but they'll sell a lot of stuff. to the point in which it's very suspicious because they're new, and a lot of times they don't seem very professional compared to how much inventory they claim to have. And a lot of times also they are going to be very, young kids at this point. So they're really going to be very informal about it. And the really unfortunate thing here is that you can't really do anything because Instagram's not technically a platform you're supposed to be trading on like that. At least not the way people do it, especially through PayPal, friends, and family. So if you get scammed like that, you can't really report it to the police because they're going to basically say there's nothing we can do for you. They're not going to be willing to pursue someone, especially who lives in another state, which most likely they do, or even in another country. If one of the scammers comes on from anywhere around the world, the FBI is not going to get involved in this because at the end of the day, you were not doing something that you should have been in buying off Instagram, period. You're not supposed to do that. And there are a lot of good deals on there, and obviously the FBI is not going to knock on your door to arrest you for buying on there, but they're just going to be like, there's nothing we can really do to help you. But with that being said, there's a lot of reputable dudes on there, so just stick with them. The people that not just have a lot of followers, because that's no surefire sign either. And there are plenty of people that don't have that many followers who are also very trustworthy. But like that dude, West Coast Bullion, when he was on there, man, he ran the fake raffles, But the biggest piece of advice I can really give you is just to become involved in the community and figure out who's reputable and who's not, because it is not going to be very hard to do. West Coast Bullion, he was running fake raffles. He had over 1,000 followers, and they were rigged so that his other accounts always won. And he, it's estimated he got, I think, $12,000 out of the community alone. So, my point is this damage can add up very quickly. Now, the third thing to avoid is going to be not so much a scam, but just kind of a waste of money. And that's going to be anything where you're overpaying for silver. So, this includes, in my opinion, fractional silver, where you're going to be paying $2 a gram, which is going to be equivalent to about $60 an ounce. Which paying $60 an ounce for silver is absurd when silver is not even at $16 an ounce. So you're paying about almost 4 times the value of silver. Or just those, as seen on TV ads, those are one of the worst. Or the website ads, anything like that is going to be very overpriced. And I'll give you kind of an example. Let's say it's a 2017 MS69 Silver Eagle. They might be selling it for $90 or $89.99, with free shipping, and they'll make it seem like such a sweet deal in that they'll have a little thing on there, a little disclaimer that says you can only order like 5 per person or whatever, as if it's like some hot deal. When in reality, you can get them for less than half that price on eBay. And they are certainly no exclusive coin like they try to make it seem. They try to make these coins seem like they're entirely flawless, which they're not. MS69 means that they are pretty much flawless, but that there is a very, very slight, mostly undetectable flaw in the coin. But that does detract a lot of value. And then furthermore, they just simply don't sell for that. That's just it. Whatever you think a slab should be sold for a certain price or not, it's not even about that. It's more about the prices you could sell it for, and you could not sell them for that kind of price. You could never, they would never buy it back at anywhere close to that, for example. And nobody else would buy it from you who knows what they're doing for a price like that. So yeah, I think these are pretty easy to avoid as long as you just do some research on something. As long as you look, especially on eBay, you're pretty well protected on there. And also, it's really good, at least in my opinion, it's a really good guide to see the pricing on coins, see what people generally sell them for. And you can get kind of a good idea there, kind of a good estimation. But definitely that is something to avoid, just paying way too much for, especially slabs you'll see, or some kind of like specialty novelty coin that really inherently has no numismatic value. Now number 2, rather, is going to be buying silver, or a certain type of silver, or all of silver, for the wrong purpose. And this expands to many things. I'll use the 2 different angles. The First one being buying one type of silver to replace another type of silver. I'll use the trap I used to fall into, unfortunately, buying fresh junk silver as fractional silver. At the end of the day, they're different. Junk silver is not fractional silver. A roll of silver dimes is not the same thing as a bunch of 1 gram silver bars. It's just not. And I do understand the thinking because junk silver is so much cheaper than fractional silver. However, they are just not the same idea. You really have to understand one's a bullion, the other is 90%. One is a generically produced, mass produced, perfected thing. The other one is a coin that is no longer made, and furthermore is a coin. I mean, there are going to be a lot of coins that are different from each other. They're not going to be exactly uniform like 1 gram silver bars are going to be. There's a lot of differences I'm trying to point out here, and they don't seem that significant, but you can't use one to replace the other. You just simply cannot do that. I know that people think in an economic collapse situation, you can use silver coins as barter pieces for smaller transactions as opposed to like a 10-ounce bar if you want to just get a gallon of milk. But then in that case, you really have to understand that it's more important to have the food yourself instead of worrying about having these tools of barter, because at that point you're just speculating. The silver and gold will be used as a universal currency. And also, people don't necessarily recognize silver coins the same way that they're going to recognize a 1 gram silver bar. I mean, there's just a lot of things to consider there. And then the other thing is, don't really buy silver expecting some massive return, because that's not how it's going to work. Silver, gold, platinum, palladium are generally pretty stable assets. I do know that obviously there was a point right before the Great Recession where there was a huge run-up of precious metals, but guess what happened? That bubble popped. So anytime they go up significantly, they're going to go back down. And this only happens occasionally. It's not like every day or every week or whatever that metals are constantly having huge runs and huge falls. They're not like cryptocurrencies or even like the stock market. They're all completely different assets. These are tangible investments, so something you can hold in your hand. They're also finite investments, and that makes them very stable because a lot of the silver and gold that exists has been made into something. And also, I mean, obviously, people speculate about market manipulation, things like that. And while they are allowed to flow freely, they're not going to change that much. So they're definitely not the same idea. You definitely cannot use silver and gold as the investment of all investments. And you can't really use that to replace another type of investment. So the last mistake, or just thing to avoid, is going to be basically, I guess in a sense, bragging about your stack. Okay, this is just so dangerous in so many ways to you, and just also really just kind of dumb to do, in that it's very avoidable. Obviously, I know I've shown a lot of stuff that I've gotten on my channel, and I do also know if somebody wanted to, they could pull my IP address. However, I don't have a stack that's even worth talking about. It wouldn't even be worth coming across the country. It wouldn't be worth your plane ticket to come down here and take my stuff. But for two, that would be a very big endeavor. It would not be very hard, though, if you tell all your friends about it, tell them how much money it's worth, for them to come over to your house and pocket something. I mean, it really wouldn't be the hardest thing in the world to do. You think, it would be extremely difficult, but if you're in the bathroom, that's time right there. If you're doing something else and you're not paying attention to them for one moment, that's time right there. And if it is a decently valuable thing, I mean, $500 is a lot of money to a lot of people. Enough so where they will be willing to ruin a friendship over it. So it becomes a very, very dangerous game when you start bragging about your stuff to people. And I know most people are not going to steal from you, okay? I don't think the whole world's corrupt. But I also think you do have to understand you don't know who is and who isn't, unfortunately. You don't know who is going to be willing to steal from you. You just don't. And if you happen to tell the wrong person, or someone you are good friends with tells the wrong person, and no one knows that they're willing to thieve, that is going to be, a big loss for you. Especially if you do have a smaller stack and you don't have that much money and you worked hard every day to afford your stack. That is going to be a big loss. And it's just not something that's worth it. I know it's very exciting when you first get into metals. You talk about it. You want to tell people about it. And you can tell people, maybe you invest a little bit, but don't give them more information than they need. And really just kind of try to keep it on the down low, just in general, as much as possible. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned at least something from it. And that is it from this one. Peace, love, and much respect.